All right, this is kind of a conspiracy theory at the moment, but I think this is going to actually come out as eventually vindicated as the way Joker 2 actually went down. Or Folie or Folie Deux or whatever it is, right? So everyone was like, what the fuck? Why is it a musical? And what the fuck, Lady Gaga? Right? And a lot of people, seeing how fucking horrifically bad this movie is, are convinced that it was done to own the chuds, that too many chuds like the first movie. And I thought that at first too. I was right there with you because remember, there was this complete gaslighting campaign by the media to pretend that there was some sort of underground incel army that was going to rise up and be activated by the first Joker movie, and that they were going to start shooting up places and shit, and that it was a dangerous movie because it presented a citizen uprising campaign. If you ask me, it had little to do with the whole fact, by the way, that the character of Arthur Fleck is a psychotic incel, and the fact that anybody ever idolized him just because he was a counterculture symbol is, again, more of a condemnation from the first movie's perspective, intentionally so, that counterculture icons are cringe and counterculture types are cringe. That oftentimes whoever we idolize is absolutely nothing like what we idolize them for. It's a commentary on all of that. But a lot of people are just like, no, Joaquin Phoenix's portrayal is too fucking cool. So obviously, this movie, which is like 90% of the first Joker movie, portraying Arthur Fleck as a fucking psychotic loser creep show, delusional lunatic, but keeping him completely out of any kind of position of power, and in fact emasculating him even further, came as a surprise to people. But even that, I don't think, is the angle. Here's the real conspiracy theory, right? Here's the real thing going on. All right, this is gonna mindfuck you. I think this is a Matrix Revolutions situation. A lot of people know for a fact that The Matrix Revolution is a terrible movie. But for the people who actually bothered to go see it, and I'm not one of them, but I, know people who have, and I know the whole plot synopsis of it. The Wachowski sisters didn't want to make The Matrix Revolutions, so they deliberately made it bad, and they made the entire movie a commentary on the studio being a fucker for making them do it. Like, the entire thing is about how franchises wear out their welcome with commercialization and shit, and that it's complete fucking cringe. And the movie was literally bad on purpose. I am 95% sure that's what's going on with Joker 2. The Joker should have never had a sequel. There was no intention of making it a sequel. So Warner Brothers promised the bag to Todd Phillips. Joker 2 was made for way fucking more money. Way more fucking money. And Todd Phillips just like, yeah, like quintuple my fucking budget, quintuple my salary, give Joaquin a shitload of money. He brought in a lot of the actors from the first movie to get them a fucking paycheck, and then deliberately made a piece of shit, deliberately shat all over the Arthur Fleck character on purpose. But I don't think it was to own the chuds. I think it was actually to own the suits. I think he literally sabotaged the film to fuck WB, and to make a mockery of them, because they gave him an insane amount of money. Because I think Joker 1 was only made on like, what, 50 million or something, maybe less, and brought in 1 billion. So they're like, well, you got to do another one. And he's like, okay, give me like 200 million. And then he put out a pile of shit, and they let him. They let him. And honestly, at this point, anything that loses Warner Brothers money makes me happy, okay? Because The Flash is a horrific piece of shit, and letting a literal child rapist and woman beater, Ezra Miller, be a franchise guy and make a shitload of money, and besmirch the good name of Michael Keaton, attaching him to that fucking project. Fuck Warner Brothers, okay? I'm sorry, but Batman v Superman and the Justice League were some of the shittiest movies I've ever seen in my life, and I fucking hate them. Okay, and I heard Wonder Woman was okay, but I had no interest in it, right? And what was that other movie they made recently? Oh yeah, the Batman 2022, which has a lot of positive audience reception, but I'm not one of them. As a guy who's an unironic fan of Robert Pattinson and Jeremy Irons, as a guy who's really wanted to see a Batman movie like what Batman 2022 was trying to be, I was going to give that film all of the slack in the world, because it looked like it was going to give me the pickiest Batman fan in the world, exactly what I wanted. And it was arguably the worst Batman movie of all time. It's worse than Dark Knight Rises. It's far worse than Batman Forever. You guys are wrong about Batman Forever, by the way. It's actually awesome. It's fucking wonderful. Um, it's definitely worse than Returns. It's definitely worse than the '89 Batman, and it's almost as bad as Schumacher's Batman and Robin. I mean, it is a fucking terrible movie. Its screenplay is a complete pile of shit. I've reviewed it on this channel and I complained about it for like 40 minutes. I've seen it twice. It did not improve with a second viewing. It got significantly worse. It's literally like three screenplays smashed together. It is studio meddling incarnate. The cinematography is the darkest, ugliest piece of shit in the universe. The car chase scene with the penguin is the worst thing I've ever fucking seen. I fucking hate Batman 2022. It is a pile of fucking dog shit. It is puke. It is rancid. So I hate what WB is done with DC products, at least outside of the animated market, which is making something of a resurgence with some decent quality films like cartoons. But live action, Warner Brothers should crash and burn. So when I learned of the conspiracy theory that Todd Phillips sabotaged Joker 2, not to fuck us, the audience, but to fuck Warner Brothers, based based as fuck. Fuck Warner Brothers. I hope this movie loses so much money. I hope it fucking craters their stock. I pray to God it destroys them. And the great thing is, if you don't believe me, if you think it was literally made to own you, the chuds or the conservatives or the edgy fans, and the men, if you think it was made to be further, dude demoralization type shit, um, our conclusions are the same. We're both wanting the same result for this, no matter which one of us is right. Whether you think Todd Phillips is based or a saboteur, the end result's going to be the same, in that the WB is going to fumble the bag and lose tons of money on a fucking Lady Gaga musical. Based, this is awesome. Now I want to pirate this movie and see it, because now I'm fascinated, because I've watched a few reviews of it. I'm definitely not going to watch the cam. I can't stand to do that, but I'm also not going to give Warner Brothers a fucking dime for this movie. And just to reiterate my continuous steadfast opinion that I do not hate the game, I hate the player, which is you. If you paid money after seeing the ads for what Joker 2 is going to be and hearing outright told to your face this is a Lady Gaga vehicle musical, if you went and bought a ticket and had the gall to be disappointed by what you saw, it is your fucking fault. It was very clear from the word go that this would be a pile of shit. And just because you didn't anticipate that it would be this bad, that Joker gets anally raped and then stabbed to death at the end, if you were just really disappointed by that, you have nobody to blame but yourself. Literally nobody to fucking blame but yourself. You should not have paid any money to go see this movie. Shame on you. It's your fault. Again, if you keep paying for dog shit and kicks in the nuts, and if you're wondering why you keep receiving cock and ball torture, it's because you financially reward people who cock and ball torture you and stick things up your ass. You're the faggot, okay? I'm sorry. It is not anybody's fault but yours, okay? These people cannot do this forever. Now, I have told you, and this is true, so I do have to walk that back slightly. They have been able to afford to make a complete fucking mockery, a demoralization, emasculation effect of Western media for the past 10 years. But the buck does have to stop, and it is stopping, but it would stop faster if you would stop financially participating in this market. Stop going to see The Flash and Batman 2022. Stop going to see the Joker Folie faggot. Don't go fucking see the next Marvel movie that you know for a fact will be bad. Stop paying for it, okay? Do not pay people to fuck you and then complain about them fucking you, okay? You are literally asking for it on purpose. You have no one to blame but yourself. You're a mark, okay? You are a deliberate victim. You are a retard, and you deserve to be taken advantage of. Okay, but to bring it back, to walk it back, sorry, audience, for trying to drop the Macho Man elbow on you forever. But I really think, actually, that this was... And again, kudos to the trannies, man. I think the Wachowski sabotaging the Matrix Revolutions was a genius idea. Because keep in mind, oh shit, I forget if it's Legendary or who the fuck is the studio that's doing the Matrix movies? I forget. It might even be Warner Brothers. I'd have to look that up. Um, but the Wachowskis sticking it to the studio machine and deliberately sabotaging the Matrix and then selling it off. They're going to make another Matrix. However, the Matrix honestly maybe should have never even had a sequel, let alone been a trilogy, let alone brought Neo and Trinity back and Agent Smith back and Morpheus back for a Matrix 4. And they're going to do a Matrix 5 without the Wachowskis, but they already salted the earth behind them. The franchise is fucked, and there's almost no chance in hell that a fifth Matrix movie will make money. So, based, they burnt it down behind them because it had become corrupted by parasites and demons. And they just burnt it down rather than let it be a continual fucking shit show. Well, honestly, I think, and this is hilarious because you'll never catch me dead using this phrase more than just maybe this once, but the media literacy of Joker fans might actually have been a little bit poor, because there was something of a protest and a societal commentary inherent in the Joker, but if you actually sit down and pay attention to the movie, it was never anything other than like a horror movie. It was never anything other than watching Taxi Driver. And a lot of people don't think of Travis, what's his name, the character from Taxi Driver, in the way they think of Arthur Fleck or the Joker, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. They know what they're looking at is a monster who kind of, it's almost like a joke at the end that because he shot a bunch of pimps and drug dealers at the end that he was kind of hailed as a hero, and the whole movie's about him being a freak. And it is about societal alienation, but it's almost more of a warning of, look what society produces. It produces these Travis characters. And if you're wondering why these fucking freaks are running around, it's our fault, is sort of the statement of it. But there's all these people who think, well, Arthur Fleck is cool as shit. And did you see him smoking a cigarette and dancing on a wet set of steps in Philadelphia or whatever the fuck that was? Did you actually pay attention to the movie? He's not cool. He's a simp. He's a geek. He's a laughing stock. And the only sympathy that he should really be drawing from you isn't that he's cool, it's that he's pathetic and also kind of a victim. But if the moral of the story is that if you victimize people enough, they should werewolf and run wild and shoot people in the fucking face, I mean, I didn't see it as cool, because even though I don't have a too dissimilar view of society, that I think that we're not that far away or 2 minutes to midnight from people running around and werewolfing and going wild on society, I don't think it's a good thing. I think it's a depressing reality that there's probably nowhere to go but there. And that the idea of there being a warning in a film like Joker is too late. But I don't idolize the guy just because I think that that's where we're headed. Is everybody good, bad, ugly, cool, right, left are all going to be in the streets doing horrible, riotous shit anytime now? It's not the future I want. I don't think it's cool. I don't want to fucking market myself in as that kind of advocate. I don't want to run a merch store on siege masks or fucking Antifa flag patches. I don't want it. I just don't think there's any other way out but through. That's my idea of the messaging of Joker. But there are all these people who are going, well, yeah, man, society sucks and lets us all down, so why don't we just, fucking shoot Robert De Niro in the face? I don't think that's the message you should have got from the movie, honestly. And I don't think there was any real further message to make out of Joker 2, but to have something to say about the media, have something to say about public hysteria, and then to literally just emasculate the entire product because the studios didn't get it and the audience didn't get it, so why not just fucking destroy it? Why not just fucking sabotage it? I mean, what did you really want? Did you really want this kind of indie underdog movie that made great success beyond everything that Warner Brothers and DC ever expected of it. They didn't expect it to make any fucking money. They didn't expect it to be anything good. They didn't expect it to win Oscars. So when Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix were being forced into commercializing this fucking thing, well, Todd Phillips is a kind of a douchebag who hates sequels, who knows that his track record with sequels to his hit products are failures, and he eventually just ends up making low effort, take the piss out of itself shit like The Hangover 3. So he's like, why would he care? And if you know anything about Joaquin Phoenix as an actual human being, the man is a fucking lunatic. He is a lunatic. I mean, he is a fucking real bona fide actual IRL crazy person. Would you put it past him to be told, yeah, we're just literally going to take a meteoric shit on this entire thing. We're just going to put out this weird avant-garde thing, and we're going to kind of just pull the wool over everybody's eyes and just completely troll everybody, just prank everybody. Like he just got punked. Like, you don't think he would go for that? Or find some sort of meta messaging artistic thing in doing that kind of project? Have you seen a Joaquin Phoenix movie in the past like 15 years? That's all this guy does, is weird avant-garde challenges to the form type shit, for better and for worse. He's made masterpieces like The Master with Philip Seymour Hoffman, and I think it's Paul Thomas Anderson made it, or the good one, the good Paul Anderson. And he's also made weird shit like Beau is Afraid, which I personally think is genius, but nobody else got. Nobody fucking liked it. It made no fucking money. Avant-garde as fuck. You Were Never Really Here is a complete deconstruction of the revenge killer badass genre that I thought was pretty fucking good. But he's also made some real fucking stinkers. And out of like the last several Joaquin Phoenix movies I've seen, I wouldn't put Joker in the top 3. I don't think it's that good. I don't think it's bad. I think his performance in the movie is good. But think about what he was really trying to do. You think about the amount of... The dude survived for like 6 months on an apple and a pack of cigarettes a day and put himself down to like 118 pounds to extra like make the Joker a horrific looking freak. He did the machinist thing like Christian Bale on purpose. I don't think he intended to be cool. I don't think that Todd Phillips intended for him to be cool. I think that was kind of a weird accident. So whether or not I'm right, you're right, or we might both be right in terms of who's getting sabotaged, who's getting fucked over. When I think about, if I really was like this huge incel fan of the Joker, would I really want a Marvel Cinematic Universe commercializing this flash in a bottle, lightning in a bottle movie into this soulless fucking thing? Or would I want the people who get told to do that to go, we have the opportunity to ask for quintuple the fucking budget, all get paid, and take a flaming shit on Warner Brothers and walk out the door? Fucking based. Tell me I'm wrong. Fucking based.